What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Snowcat SRT. If you're new here, that is my 2016 Dodge Challenger Hellcat with a prior design wide body kit and 812 wheel horsepower. You can check out the video right over here. We are in Bahrain in the Middle East, small island, at SMS Design and Performance. At their garage, we do all of our funky stuff here, all of our builds. And today I'm going to show you around the garage a little bit, and then I'm going to show you the latest project, which is a 350Z death kart that we're working on. This is the next installment in a lot of videos that we've been creating basically from the beginning since we got the car up till this point. And you guys should definitely check that out if you're interested in more. I've also created a playlist so you can watch them all back to back and check it out. So let's go and have a look around the SMS and see what kind of cars we got here today. So we got a classic Corvette in here today. Got a TJZ Supra. Actually kind of stock, but looks really nice. Ford Mustang Vanquish in a beautiful color. More Mustangs. These guys do a lot of Ford stuff. They're really good with Ford. So if you're in the area or if you're in the Middle East, you can definitely come check out these guys. They'll give you a lot more power and also reliable power because they know what they're doing. Here we have a C63 that's getting a supercharged kit. This is going to be nice. This is actually the 6.2 liter, not the new ones that are 63s that are 4. And these things, they sound absolutely amazing. Right over here, this is the owner's RX-7 that he built in the 2000s. It was his first car. Sits here proudly on this really badass C-West body kit. And from our knowledge, this is only one of 3 in the world right now. So really cool. We got a first-gen Raptor getting some mods in. This thing is daily driven, as you can see. It's been beat up, but that's what it's supposed to do. Got a Challenger there on top of the lift. Some classic Corvettes, modern Corvettes. Got the Merc, this beautiful 6.3 SEL. Also getting some work done to it. We have the drag car that these guys race. This is like, they have a racing team. There you go, SMS Design and Performance, SMS Racing. This is a small block, NA, and it competes against big blocks, and I'm telling you, this thing is a beast of a car. You can also check out the video in the top right corner if you want to see more of that. This is another drag car that these guys built. They also do paint, so this thing was all painted in-house. Beautiful design. Got a Mustang and an amazing TVR. These things are really rare, and this color just really pops up. I really like it. Just going up for some maintenance as well. So these guys do pretty much everything you'd like to do to your car and more, because they also suggest you different design cues, different options that you would like, and more power, obviously, because everyone wants more power. So right now we're gonna go check out the body shop. So this is like the maintenance kind of lift area, and we'll see what else we can find. So over here is the 350Z. Now, viewers of this channel will know that there are a couple of bits added, but we'll talk about that later on. But this car used to be a 350Z. We cut it up, we worked on it all together. A lot of hard blood, sweat, and tears went into this build. It's still not finished, but we're working on this after hours. The guys are working on other projects of other customers and stuff like that. The guys are also redoing the exhaust right here, so you see a lot of pie cuts. That's gonna go on because we weren't happy that the exhaust wasn't as straight. These guys are doing a great job. I'm not welding because I frankly don't know how to weld. I would love to learn, but I don't want to learn on this car because we have a time frame. So here you can see another project. So this thing is just being completely transformed. It's a P1600 Volvo, and it's just being widened and prepared, and it's going to be insane. Here's got a Buick that's put on a, I think it's a Lumina platform, and so you got like the best of both worlds. So you have a old school look, or a car that like means a lot to you, that's been in your family, but you get the drivability of a modern car, which just makes it a great thing to drive. Got a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow here. These things are just stunning. Look at that engine bay. Guys have a paint shop that's where we did all the paint for the car, and also the guys do like airbrush. Over here is the boys doing the body panels, body work, custom body kits. This thing is coming out. Oh man, it was just painted the other day because I haven't seen the interior color. And you can have a look at what this thing looks like, starting to take shape. And minis, this thing is going to be a wide body mini, so that's pretty interesting, pretty cool, pretty funky. And we'll go to the third room here. Like before we go there, it's your paint prep room. Have all the different types of paints. This is where mixing happens and so on, making sure that customers happy with the colors that they want. That's a Volvo that's been wide bodied, so this, but it's not a kind of fender thing. It's literally been split in half and made wider because the client apparently wanted those tires to fit in. So this was the only way of going about it. And as you can see, it's got a fully prepped cage inside, ready to go, strengthened, all of that. So big projects happening here. And now we go to the last room, which is the diner room. And here are some cars that are just waiting to, you know, get in line for their work and maintenance. Got another drag car. You know, sometimes even people, when they're away, they leave their cars here. So this is like a safe space, so they don't get dusty and don't sit outside in the sun. This thing, twin turbo Silverado. I don't know if I can open it. I don't want to open it right now, but I think I've shown it before. And yeah, you know, just really cool rides. You know, this is a hot rod underneath here. I don't want to uncover it because it's covered for a reason. This is amazing. This is a Charger that has a very special engine. If I can lift, oh man, that's a heavy hood. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a Viper V10. So a Viper V10, the transmission is done, all the interior work has been done, the firewall has been moved to accommodate that engine, and it's a great job. That car is actually for sale, so if you're interested, make sure to contact SMS Design and Performance. I'm gonna link their YouTube channel and their Instagram account in the description below. And finally, we have the paint room right behind me. So this is where you get your custom paint done. I see a lot of bikes come in here. You can see that one is also being prepped, kind of getting ready. This one is actually being prepped with the design in mind and then gonna be painted. They also do helmets here. You got your custom little AC thing over there that, you know, emulates with the car in the back. And then you got the Wi-Fi over there. So, you know, all these cool things that you could integrate, for example, in your games room or in your Majlis or something like that, that you would like a little, you know, something different. And here's an example of paint on one of the helmets. I don't think this is finished yet, but yeah, I mean, the stuff they do here is absolutely nuts. Anyways, so I'm gonna find the shop owner, Salahuddin, and have a little conversation with him, let him explain what the shop is about, and then we'll get back to the 350Z BugZ D. All right, so this is the owner of SMS, Salahuddin. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
So I'm sure most of our regulars will recognize him from the 350Z build and the Snowcat. But to everyone new here, I'd like you to introduce you to the man who does all the business around here.
Hello everyone. I started messing with cars at a really young age. Started with the RC cars. Used to get the RC cars and was never satisfied on how they looked or how they came from the factory, so I started changing them, customizing them. And then of course when I was 18, bought my first car, started messing with it, changing it here and there. I've always had a very big love for cars, knew everything about them, and couldn't wait to actually work on them for real. Went to the States for college, studied architecture, came back. I was not too keen on working on designing buildings because I've always had cars on my mind. So started SMS Design and Performance. I was building show cars in the States and always involved with cars and racing and whatnot. And when I got to Bahrain, I started my own business.
When was that?
Started in 2008. I was always building cars before that, you know, here and there, and customizing my own cars and some of my friends' cars. But in 2008, I decided to take this on and opened a small shop in an area close by here, and stayed there for about 2 years while I was building this shop here. And we just started small as far as clientele and projects, and then we started getting more cars out there and being noticed
Awesome. And you also race, so how has the racing influenced what you do here as well?
Of course, we build a lot of race cars, drift cars. I use the common sense of what I learned in racing and how a car behaves on a racetrack when you're braking, when you're accelerating, and we put that in builds to come out with a car that's proper. Did a lot of racing since I was 18. I'm 47 now. So actually, my first race was 17 years old. I was a navigator in a rally car, and just started the love for racing. Did autocrossing, did single-seater racing, did rally, drag racing, and
circuit racing as well.
Circuit racing, yeah, all of the above. So it worked out. It taught me a lot about how to build a car and how to make it work properly. And it's an ongoing process. We're learning every day, and try to get better and better.
And how many trophies do you have? Because I know there's a lot of trophies out in the front, but do you mind saying how many have you accumulated over the years?
It's safe to say I have over 200 podiums
wow.
Since I started. Yeah, I've lost count, but I think it's right around there.
Cool. All right, man. That's awesome. Thank you for that. And we will resume with our normal video stuff and go out check out the 350Z BugZ D.
And also over here we have Casper. You've seen him if you're a subscriber. If not, he also helps a lot on the 350Z, done a lot of cutting, came up with a lot of ideas, did a lot of like dirty work, which I haven't been doing because I've been filming so you guys see this.
You're the cameraman.
I am the camera and the editing man. And yeah, just a big influence on this project, big help, big shout out to you. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, actually he does, but he's not very focused on it right now. Focused on our personal business, which is Daily Classics. I'll tell you a lot about that soon. And
channel.
What?
And your channel.
And my channel as well. Yeah, he does a lot of filming. And also I'll link his Instagram account down in the bio below.
I need them followers ASAP.
Yeah, you need some help, guys. You need some help. So this is the BugZ D, the 350Z that we're working on. We're assembling it right now. This used to be a 350Z. Cut it all open, thanks to him. He also went through the chassis at one point because he just cannot stop cutting. But we mended that issue a couple of episodes back. And today what we got new is not so much, but we got the seat in. We got the controller in for, this is basically the race pack that was added with the Haltech 2500 that we got with the car. That's the fridge that Majid and I spoke about. Basically, that's the heart of all the electronic systems. It's like a black box kind of thing. The great thing about this design is that we'll actually be able to pull it out and just make sure that nobody can take the car when it's parked outside or if it's at an event or whatever, so nobody can start the car without this bad boy right here.
Yeah, it's sustainable to weather as well, so the point of it is as Osama said, it's the heart of the car, but if we leave it at the track one day and it starts to rain or anything happens as such, we simply bolt it out, take it up, carry it home, we'll come back the next day, plug and play and get right back to it.
Exactly. So now we got the hard lines that are basically the cooling system that's going to be connected to the bracket that's built over there. That's going to go all the way down underneath the passenger seat, all the way to the back, to the radiator. And we also bought this aftermarket pump just to help everything cool down from the back and front. So yeah, this design literally came about because we cut off a lot from the front end. So the original car kind of extends a bit more here, and you obviously have that right in front of the engine, but we wanted the engine to be exposed so it looks nice and everything, and also weight distribution because we want to keep as close as possible to a 50-50 weight distribution, and that's going to add some weight in the back as well. Other things that we added, so the fuel tank covers were painted in gold as well, just to keep that offset. The interior is looking really nice right now. And the radiator in the back. We also have this really cool remove before flight thing going on. I can't talk much about that. And yeah, this is where we're at right now. One issue we also had of a removable steering wheel, hello, is that the right side is actually higher than the left. So we have moving rails for the seats, but we have to fix them in place just because that is the chassis and that's how it was designed. And you got to remember that this whole structure is lower than the actual car is. So for the seats to fit in, it has to be in a fixed position, but it's gonna be quite comfortable, and you guys are gonna know because you guys are gonna be driving with me in the passenger seat, that's for sure. And also over there we have the housing for the battery. Casper is sitting inside now, getting his seat position. I'm gonna have to obviously change it because you're quite taller than me.
Actually, that's one interesting thing as well. So this car is gonna pretty much have 3 drivers, yourself, myself, and Salah. This seat, we're not actually going to make it adjustable. We put a bracket in here just to make sure that we can place the chair. But as you can see with this one, we can go forward, we can go backwards, we can do anything we want to do. And yeah, make it an all-purpose vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. And also, we because of the paint and everything, we're going to PPF a lot of the areas that you touch. So over here, this is all going to be PPF. Up here as well, you know, you grab in. This is going to be PPF, but for a different reason, because we're going to have a windshield on it, a plastic windshield or plexiglass, and that basically is going to rub against the paint. So we want to just protect that, and if that gets damaged, we just peel it off and put it on again. We need a windshield just to, you know, for safety reasons, and it's, you know, just also going to stop a lot of wind going in through. So while recording or anything like that, it won't be as much wind noise as without a window.
Can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, boy. And we also got the brake calipers painted as well in the meantime. It's going to be a dual brake setup in the back. So you got the standard brakes, you know, of your brake pedal, and then you got the e-brake system, so hydraulic. So basically lock the wheels up ASAP just to get that entry for the perfect drift that I will not be making at the beginning. It's so comfortable, and even like the Z.
Like, it's really comfortable.
Yeah.
Like I could drive this to work.
Yeah, just getting in and out is not like with a 5-point harness. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And what was I gonna say? Yeah, the 350Z in general is a great platform for drifting. I mean, even stock, it's everything is fit right. The pedals we're gonna have those. We had them modified a little bit. So we wanted to get race pedals, but those are way too expensive and over budget.
We don't need it.
And we don't need it, yeah.
Race pedals would also require us to make a lot of adjustments to the firewall, which, let's be honest, we already did. But all the mounting brackets are actually where they are, so we're not going to change that. It's a comfortable position that works for everyone. We can upgrade it later if we want to, at the end of the day. And then, yeah, I mean, the point of this car is that we can rip it apart and put it into basically a shell in less than 4 hours.
Yeah, because that's actually what you guys did last episode.
4 hours, we assembled the whole car.
So specs wise, we have the Y-SPAP suspension front and back. That allows us to give the angle. Can you show up the angle? So specs wise, we have the Y-SPAP suspension kit. Basically, these arms allow us to get maximum angle while drifting, so basically wider drifts. Also have the BC coilovers on, installed front and back. We got the BQDE engine, which is like the first gen engine for these cars. Quite reliable engine, we have no issues with that. A little bit down on horsepower than the later ones, which were the HRs with dual throttle bodies, but this thing will definitely do.
Shedded a lot of weight.
Yeah, we shedded a lot of weight, as you can see. Also, we have the HR transmission, which is a very strong transmission that we could keep in here for a while, even if we upgrade the power. We got a Momo steering wheel, Momo seats. What else do we got here? We got Chase Bay's brake booster here, so it's a lot smaller, also losing weight, helping with keeping the weight down. Also got ATI super damper. Basically, this car is going to be living on the rev limiter, like right at the top. So we need something heavy duty to make sure that nothing breaks over here, and you can you know, take care of that. We got these LED antenna from eBay. We got all the parts are basically from eBay. The radiator is Pro Racing, so that's a local shop here. We have a Sylvia carbon fiber wing. We got KC style lights on it. Also local stuff, you know, just trying to keep the cost down. A lot of this stuff was bought locally, which is nice. The computer I talked about, the Haltech 2500, that is also a great computer. If we wanted to upgrade the engine in the future, we can still run a bigger engine on that, so that thing is definitely staying. Also we got headers, we got long tube. These are short tube headers because we couldn't find any long tube ones. We built a Y-pipe as well. The diff is exactly the same. Got Brembo brakes. The car came with the Brembo package and the better diff. That's what we wanted for drifting instead of buying something new. We custom bumpers, front and back, and yeah, just a lot of other little things that we had to custom make in-house for this thing just to look good and make sure it runs well, which hopefully it will when we get the turnkey very soon. Basically, we're getting the wiring done, so if you look over here, we got wires running through the pipes that come out here, go through the lights. So just try to keep it kind of stealth, have nothing out in the open. Those are all going to be reinforced as well, so they're ready for the situations this car will be in.
And I always thought, man, a 350Z is such a good drift car, and stock, you know. So, and it's got tons of parts for it, whether it's engine parts, transmission parts, suspension. So it's a good platform to start from. And I pitched it to Osama, and he was like, no. I was like, okay, whatever. So then one day,
I just rocked up with a 350Z here.
No.
Yeah, I did.
Let me tell him the story how it happened. Turn that back. Look at yourself. Osama started attending all these drift nights, and he went and saw all the mayhem, and he got the itch. He came back to the office like, I want to build a drift car. So I was like, remember a while back I talked to you about, hey, let's do this for the channel, let's do a death cart, let's do this, and then we kind of like just talked back and forth, and thank God he said yes. So the inspiration behind this is I started with my cars and my modifying of cars with RC cars.
We have this.
But just my favorite cars were the buggies. Tamiya or Tamiya made those buggies that were so cool. They looked like the real thing, and they always had the big lights, the round lights, and you know the 80s buggies look. So this was inspired by a buggy, but a drift buggy at the same time, utilizing a Z chassis. It's coming along really nice. And we're happy. I'm happy.
Man, we're definitely happy. A couple of things that we need to do now is mostly electronics. As you can see, we're putting in the second seat that's going in. That will not be adjustable just because that side of the chassis is kind of higher than the other side. When everything's not cut out, that's fine. But when you get to the chassis, it's a little bit different on that side. The last thing we're going to show you is the intake and the brakes, just to stiffen up the car. The intake has like these beautiful blue accents. Everything was painted in-house as well by SMS Design and Performance. And with that, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Listen to this man. Listen to this man.
Don't listen to me.